What is up, guys? Welcome on back to TK's Garage and more layoffs, man. I hate to be the person to give you the news, but it is what it is. 400 workers at a Detroit parts facility have been laid off, and that's right after the 1,100 laid off at Toledo. And it looks like, from my sources, that several hundred, I'm trying to get the exact number, are going to be laid off at Sterling Heights as well. It looks like Stellantis is in a layoff as many people as we can before the next administration comes in type of mode, which is interesting. So what is up, guys? Welcome back to TK's Garage. I'm going to put this up here for you. As I said, the layoffs are coming. Tavares knows at this point, and their board of directors, that they're not going to be able to just ship production to Mexico now. As the president-elect has said, the president-elect did say very clearly that that is not happening. That he would charge 100 or 200% tariff on 100% tariff or 200. I'm not sure. It's one or the other. Either way, they suck for Stellantis. If they try to move production and jobs to Mexico and then import those American vehicles back into the United States. So Stellantis is kind of in a conundrum here. They were laid off, these 400 people. Let's get into what happened, and I'll talk about that, and I'll get into some of these points. November 8th, Detroit. Stellantis added to its rising tally of layoffs on Friday, saying 400 workers at a Detroit auto parts facility would indefinitely lose their jobs as the car maker reduces costs in its struggling North American business. As Stellantis navigates a transitional year, this is the thing that they keep saying, transitional. It's not transitional. You guys are about to go back to making V8s if you want to stay alive or go bankrupt. The focus is on realigning its U.S. operations to ensure a strong start to 2025, the company said in a statement. Basically, they're mailing in the rest of this year. The automaker on Wednesday laid off 1,100 employees at the Jeep Gladiator plant in Ohio, and in August cut as many as 2,450 unionized jobs at a Michigan facility as it ended production of the Ram 1500 Classic. We knew about that. Stellantis' emphasis on cost cutting has intensified as CEO Carlos Tavares tries to reverse its sliding sales and profits in the U.S. Tavares recently shook up his top management, and the company announced he would retire after his contract ends in 2026. Stellantis stock is down 41% this year. While the company has reduced its salary workforce through voluntary buyouts, job cuts among its manufacturing employees, represented by the United Auto Workers, have gathered the most attention from politicians. President-elect Donald Trump recently warned that he would place 100% tariff on Stellantis if the automaker tried moving U.S. jobs to Mexico. Our members are ready to build Jeeps, but management and missteps are standing in their way. We're prepared to use every tool in our arsenal to fight back, the UAW said in a statement. UAW President Shawn Fain has threatened a nationwide walkout at Stellantis facilities, alleging the automaker has failed to keep promises it made with the union last autumn. Some local union chapters had voted to authorize a strike. Nearly 80 members of Congress last month, we talked about that, urged Stellantis to honor their investments. Now, the only problem is the UAW walked back. They took away strike authorization. They said they weren't going to push for strike authorization. And it's funny because as soon as this is why I say not only does Carlos Tavares need to go, he got to go. All right. And I think Elkin has to step down as chairman. I really believe that. He's got to step down because he's allowing Tavares to do this Mickey Mouse stuff. All right. So you have Tavares gone, but you also got to get rid of Shawn Fain. Shawn Fain has got to be one of the most incompetent union leaders. And I have no dog in that hunt. I'm not a union person. I'm just looking at this as a business guy. We do these YouTube videos. They're fun or whatever. I like giving you guys the news. I'm a defense contractor by trade. If I had somebody running my company and they made this many errors and missteps, their ass would be fired. I would kick them out. I would revoke their base access and kick them off a post. There is no way I would allow somebody to run my company down 40 to 50% of its value in 6 months and they still had a job. Impossible. Not happening. So, to see what is happening now and all of these workers getting cut, this is Tavares's kind of like, he knows he's out, and he knows with the current change in administration with Donald Trump coming in, that Stellantis is going to have to make radical changes. I already talked to you guys yesterday or the day before that they are considering splitting Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram off into their own company so it doesn't affect the other brands with Stellantis with the emissions standards and stuff that are going on in Europe. Because all that emission stuff that's going on here in the United States, that's coming to an end, at least under this administration, which is going to allow car manufacturers to get back to making stuff that people actually want. Look, I feel exceptionally bad. I feel exceptionally bad for the workers. I run my own companies. I've run my own businesses for a long time. I haven't had a job since I was very young. All right. I feel bad for the people that count on that security and go in and do a job every single day, only to kind of just, it's like, it's the most degrading thing ever you've been doing a job, you've been working for a company. In some of these cases, some of these people that are being cut now, the seniority isn't mattering. They've been there for 12 years, 13 years, and now you're getting indefinitely laid off. And a lot of these people are like, I got 12 years of seniority. I got 14 years of seniority. I'm not going to get cut. Laid off. And that's when I think the biggest amount of voices and arguments or people that are going to yell at Stellantis or start pushing for Shawn Fain to get booted from the UAW is what's going to happen at Sterling Heights. When they start cutting some of those very senior, long-time workers at Sterling Heights, yeah, then we're going to we might at that point see a change. But it might be too late. Some of you guys, some of you workers, you have look, I've talked about this group before, UAW Real Talk. It is on Facebook. You should go check it out. Ryan's over there. They literally talk about the bylaws, the rules that you guys as union members have in place to make changes at the top of your union. All I can tell you is this. If Tavares stays with Stellantis for any long period of time here, that company's going bankrupt. If Fain stays as the union president, you're going to lose thousands of jobs on the Stellantis side, for sure. And for you guys that are at GM and Ford and you're union employees and thinking you're safe, you're not. You're not. My sources from GM they're getting ready to, even though they're profitable and they're doing great, they're going to start cutting too. So I feel bad for the workers. I hope, and it sucks, especially around this time with the holiday season, it hits even harder. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Give the video a big thumbs up if you like what I do. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And I hope these people are able to, transition to another company, find another job that pays them around the same. And I'm hoping that the rest of the union wakes up and realizes that Shawn Fain is just a dumbass. And the people at Stellantis figure out, the super investors that are at Stellantis outside of John Elkann figure out, hey, we got to get rid of Carlos. Can't stay here till 2026. We got to get rid of him now. As always, Stay petty, my friends.